Hi guys, how are you doing? It is my hope that you are well. I'm fine. Yes, I'm so happy to be here once again on the Vima Show. This is where we deal with love issues, relationship tips, marriage, inspirational stories. Yes, and so today I'm so much excited because we are starting a new series, a short series of the women in business. Yes, and guess who we have here on the show? She's going to take us through a journey. She's a businesswoman, an entrepreneur. Yes, and I'm so much happy to have you on the show. So karibu sana, you can tell us more about you. Yes, karibu.
Oh, hi people. Hi Clara.
Yes. Hey, you've called me that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I told you
okay.
Clara.
Yes.
So thank you. I'm very humbled and honored
Yes.
to be the first person to be invited on this segment. Yeah, women.
Yes.
I'm very honored. So my name is Afia. Afia Motano John. I am an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur for that matter.
Yeah.
Sijagonga 30 bado.
Yeah.
God has been faithful.
Yes.
So I am a young entrepreneur, born and raised in this town.
Yes.
So Bonti kidogo, schooled within this town also. Yeah, and life brought me back home. So
Wow.
I thank God.
Yeah. Tell us more about kidogo too. We want to know how was life while you were growing up?
I've been brought up in I think average family, with parents working within town. My dad, God rest his soul, was a business person. I can also say I draw some of my inspiration from him. My mom previously was a practitioner of medicine, a nurse, but she quit to join business. So yeah, and our life was okay. I don't think I can say we've ever lacked. We were just an average family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. And we are so much happy to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I think this topic of women being in business is not really talked about.
It isn't.
Yes. Why do you think so?
I don't think people know the intensity of a woman actually being in business. Because traditionally, a woman is supposed to be a homemaker, not a money maker. Yeah. So
okay.
yeah. So that is what tradition and that is what society has taught us. So I don't think most people, they have no idea or do not think that there is any importance of discussing a woman being in business.
Yeah. But women are already in business. I think the society is changing.
It is.
And we should evolve with it. And even as you watch, you're supposed to know that right now women are getting into business. You don't have to wait for a man to provide everything.
Exactly.
You know, another thing, you don't have to wait to be employed.
It's true.
Yes, atakama you are employed, you can have a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yes, and now because we are talking about you being in business, let's start with what do you do? Yes, what do you do?
I am an entrepreneur. Dealing with the industry of events and specifically event decor or event decor and tentage and furnitures that you need in an event. And I also do flowers. I'm a lover of flowers and colorful petals in the garden, fresh flowers. So that
and
is
the surprises you do. You are doing a good job. In fact, you brought an idea in Kitui that wasn't there.
Yeah. It is so satisfying walking to a stranger and just making them smile.
Wow.
Whether I've been sent by their partner or their friend or their parents, it is satisfying. So that is what I venture in.
I think you've told us that, flowers can communicate love.
Oh, they do.
Wow.
They do.
Wow, that's so good.
They do. And I'm glad that our people are actually learning that. Because when I was starting the flower thing, I think the only people who are interested in it are people who have been in the city. But I'm glad that people have started embracing the culture of gifting one another flowers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so beautiful. So if you have someone, maybe you can share your details. Maybe they are wondering, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Do you have some clips on any
Yes.
social media platform?
Yes.
You can share with them so that they may watch what you do.
So I have my socials, Afivan Events. On every social platform. You can get me on WhatsApp also. You can get me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Yes.
And we can talk more about flowers and events.
So let's go back to what you do now. You've told us you do deco. Anything else that you feel like you can add on it?
Apart from deco, I'm not just an event stylist. I also venture in event planning, because event planning and event deco are two different things. Event planning is where you have to get a client and deal with all the service providers that the client has. If it is a catering team, if it is an MC or sound services, so I can be an event planner for someone. At the same time, I can do event decor. So those are two different things.
It's true.
I go to a place where someone wants to be an event planner, but they have only paid me for event decor. People are not, they have not yet understood that those are two different things. An event planner is different. Is different from an event decorator. So my major focus is in event styling and decor and designing. But I've also done a few event planning workshops, so I am conversed about all that.
Wow, that's so good. What inspired you to join that department of, not planning, let's go to deco, yes? What made you start that?
What made me start deco? Of course, I didn't study deco in university. I didn't study deco. I actually wanted to be a diplomat. I wanted to be an ambassador somewhere.
Wow, okay.
So what I studied in university is different, is way different from what I do, but it really helped. It helps still going and studying whatever I studied. It has been helpful in my industry. So I cannot say I had an actual inspiration, but what I saw was a gap.
Wow, okay.
Yes, after life brought me back to my hometown, I realized that there was a huge bridge that needed to be closed
in Kitui now.
In Kitui specifically for decoration, because there was deco. I won't say there wasn't, but then I could not see the kind of deco that I was envisioning in my mind. I had not seen that yet. I had not seen someone going in that direction. So I think I inspired myself. Also, I have always had an interest in interior deco. Kurembesha nyumba and all that. I move things around in my house personally. I have to get in trouble every time. Where did you move this there?
You have to.
Once in a while, yes. So because of the interest in interior deco, it was not so hard navigating and adapting to event deco. So that's how I joined event deco.
Wow. How was that journey been? Because I know it's how many years now?
This is I'm turning 3 years old.
Wow, congrats. You've not given up.
No, and I am not going to give up.
Yes. So, okay, how has the journey been? That growth journey, because I know where you are right now, it's not where you started. How has it been?
It's been a journey.
Tell us the journey.
It has been a journey. When I was starting deco, I can say I dreamt, I had a dream, and I decided to do something about it. At first, I thought it would be easy, honestly.
Okay,
and because it is self-taught, I had never attended a course on event deco or event planning or even business skills. I had never attended such a workshop. I don't even think what I studied in university had a unit on business. So I had no business skills completely. So the journey at the start of it was, it was bumpy.
Yes.
There were so many bumps on the road. But I thank God that I didn't give up. I didn't give up, even though I really wanted to at some point, but I didn't give up.
You'll tell us about that later, yes.
Yeah. So I wish someone had told me that entrepreneurship and business, it is a situation whereby you'll stand in front of people and tell people you're a business person, but you have zero cash in the bank. You even don't have food in the fridge.
Yes.
Like you have had sleepless nights because you're working, but in the morning you don't have much to show for it.
Yeah.
But there's that kapush and zeal to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going.
Yeah.
So that is how the journey has been. It is patting yourself on the back and telling yourself, you know what, you have 0 shillings in the bank, but that is what entrepreneurship is all about. So keep on pushing, keep on going. So
one day you're going to be
ipo siku.
Yeah, itajipa.
Ipo siku, yeah. So it's been a beautiful journey, honestly.
Wow.
Yeah, it has been.
And I'm so
with all the
much
bumps
proud
and all
of
that,
you.
thank you so much. It has been a beautiful journey. Na bado tunazidi.
Yes.
We are not stopping.
Wow. There are some, I know they are, challenges. Now let's go there. There's someone there, mwenye mesikia you never gave up. So it means there were some challenges.
Of course.
What are some of the challenges that you faced in this field?
There are many. There are so many. God, there are so many.
Yes.
But I'll maybe touch on a few. The fact that I'm a woman.
Yes.
Was a challenge. Navigating the business as a woman was a challenge because with event decor and tentage and all that, it is mostly a masculine kind of
very true
part of business. So, and when I was starting, I started from scratch. So I had no team. I was a one-man team.
Yeah.
So I have to go up on the tents, do the dripping alone. I have to dress the seats. So the start of it, being a woman, was challenging. But with time, you get to maneuver and be flexible enough to do it.
Yeah.
Another challenge was starting with zero capital. I think I can call it that. Zero capital, literally.
Literally, like.
Yeah, literally zero capital.
You know,
I woke up.
They say that what social media, the motivators, wanatuambia I started with.
It's zero capital. I think my first event was a balloon setup. So I only bought the balloons, which balloons are not very expensive.
Yeah.
And I remember even underquoted so badly.
Another challenge.
I underquoted. I knew nothing about pricing.
Yes.
So I underquoted. Oh my God.
I think they will relate.
And my client was from Dubai.
What?
Imagine, she was from Dubai. But hi Sakina. She was from Dubai and I underquoted and
she was your first.
Yeah, Sakina was my first.
Wow,
first
shout out to her. I know she's going
Sakina,
to watch.
In Dubai, she's in Dubai.
Yes.
Yeah, so she wanted a setup for her son. I had shown interest in balloon work and all that. Actually, my first interest was balloon work. So I said, you know what, let me take this. So I asked her for some money. I think it was 10K. I think I thought 10K was
a lot
of money. Until I did the event in the evening, I had nothing
after paying.
I don't even think I charged labor for that specific event. But anyway, it is a learning process.
Yeah.
So challenges like starting without capital. But then I also don't believe that with entrepreneurship and business, I don't believe in the fact that you have to be funded to start a business.
No, you don't have.
I don't believe in that. I actually tell people, I was telling my sister the other day, if you have to be funded to start up a business, don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will not be your thing.
It is not your thing.
Yeah.
If you have to go to a bank or ask someone to boost you up like 100 G's to start up a business, to start up, don't. Because it is going to give you a lot of headache, pale mbele.
Yeah.
It is going to frustrate you, and you will have money that you took somewhere. So
that you have to
yes,
pay.
yes, and the business has frustrated you. So starting from scratch, I don't believe in getting funded, but I'm okay with people who get funded. There are people who get funded and they're okay. It's okay. But personally, I don't believe in that. Everyone has their own line.
It's true.
So there are challenges of zero capital, but I maneuvered. Here I am. I'm still going. Challenges of I didn't know how to price events completely.
I think that is one of the challenge, the main challenge in fact for the event planner.
I think I would
planners and service providers.
It's true.
Yes.
I would be more richer today if my first year I knew how to price events. Yeah, but I thank God for my first year clients, because if it were not for them,
they trusted you.
Yes,
they knew that you are a new person in the field. Yeah,
they did. So if they had not given me the opportunities and all that, I wouldn't be here today. So I thank God for them. Even though I underquote in a few shows, I messed up myself severally, but I thank God. So the challenges are so many, but with business, it's a learn on the go kind of thing. Yeah, there's no manual for this is how to run a business. So you learn as you go. So those challenges are the ones that are building us. Yeah.
Have you come across a challenge of maybe people, they try to discriminate you because or intimidate you after realizing this is the person I was talking to? Have you? Because maybe of your body size, I know that's an issue.
I'm short.
With the short ones, hey, are you the one? Are you going to make it? You know.
Of course, there are. I have with events. You get to find there are sometimes that you're dealing with a couple for an event plan.
Yeah.
Or you're dealing with the bride. With the bride, I've not had so much issues with ladies. But when it comes to guys, I have had quite an experience. Because you will find a guy calling you madam on phone. Like, hi madam, can I have a minute of your time? I need to confirm this and this and this. So they are very respectful on phone.
Yeah.
Only to meet you on your first meeting and they see a very short human being. And they're like, are you the one I was talking to? You wonder, what has my height got to do with respect? But it can be challenging because there are even people who you'll meet at first, and because of how small you look, they judge you from your looks.
They will not trust you.
So this one will be like, I'm not going to trust my 200,000 with this short Let me go look for someone or with someone this young. So let me go look for someone who has been in business for a while. Someone who is probably my mother's age.
Yes.
They are more able to trust that person. Yeah. So there are those kind of challenges. They are there.
Now that the deco, jobs are, there's evolution, you know, things are changing, there are more modernized things that are coming up. Have you ever faced a challenge of you're given maybe a photo, because that is what we use, we'll give you a photo of a deco sample that we expect you to do, and then you feel no, this one it's true, I don't know, it's true
for me.
Yes. Have you ever had that challenge?
I've never had a challenge of a deco design being advanced. I think the only experience with a job that I've been given that was a huge challenge to me was once. It was a big wedding, and I really looked at myself and my abilities. I was like, I'm really happy that you're giving me this opportunity, but I don't want to disappoint you. I don't think I'm there yet. But looking back, that was a huge mistake.
But what would you tell your young you those days?
That was a huge mistake because I let go of a lot of money. The only thing I was lacking at that moment was the push to I just needed to tell myself, just take it and you will figure it out.
Yes.
But I was scared. The money was big. The money was big. It was really big. But then I thought, I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
But looking back today,
and many times, not only in the event sector, people tend to fear. There's that fear.
Of course.
Are you working out towards working on it? How maybe you can even tell someone there's someone who is afraid. I'm afraid to start a business. I don't know how I can figure this thing out. I have passion in this, and I feel I am not there yet. What can you advise them?
I like calling fear. Fear is an enemy of progress, and fear is also a booster of progress.
It depends how you use it.
Yes, it is going to depend exactly on how you use it. So I'd tell someone who is afraid of either starting something or continuing in something that they've already started and it has started scaring them. I would tell them not to give in to fear, because fear is only going to intimidate you. By the end of the day, whatever you're afraid of is not so big. You're the one who is magnifying it. Because once you've actually done that thing, like now what I'm saying, what I was scared of that day, I look at it today, I'm like,
you
would
have done it.
I would have done it. I just needed to tell my fears, sit back and let me do this. So fear is an enemy of progress, so don't give in to fear. Especially, you see that moment when you're really, really scared of something. That is what I do to myself these days. I am scared of something. I'm literally shaking and I'm not so sure about it. That's when I do it.
And the
outcome is amazing. Because you're like, what was I even scared of? Wow. It was that easy. Or it just needed me to do this and this and this. So the outcome of someone who is doing something scared is good. And it builds your confidence. Because you're like, you know what? I did this the other time and I was very scared, so I can do this today.
Okay. And another thing, you are a leader and you have some workers. And I know mostly because of your job they are men. Do you feel intimidated sometimes? You are the boss. Okay, of course you're the boss. Like yes, you're the boss. So do you feel sometimes intimidated because of how when you're giving them orders, you have to do this, help here? Is there any challenge like that?
Of course, yes. With what I do, mostly the people on my team are men. Men who are taller than me. Men who are taller than me. But when it comes to leadership, I believe in a good leader will know how to communicate. If you know how to communicate to your team, and you give them the respect that they deserve, not that I'm a woman, I'll start ordering you around anyhow. So I communicate well. I give them the respect that they are needed. I accord them the right respect, so they do that in return. I do not boss them around. I don't know how to boss people around. And most of the time, I find myself working with my team. So I will tell you, like, because most of my team members, I'm the one who has taught them from scratch. Like, this is how you do a flower. This is how you arrange a flower. So I've made sure in teaching, I communicate well. Because when you're teaching a student, unamsomesha na kiburi ya wewe ndo mwalimu, they won't get anything. And probably they will start hating you or not according you respect. So I believe there are challenges out there, but from my own experience with my team, I think we have been able to work with each other in a smooth way. Because everyone is respected on the team. Everyone has been given a specific task to do. So I will not tell team member A to do kazi ya team member B, yet I have not taught them. So, and I also teach them to respect each other among themselves. So
Wow. And that, of course, it takes me to the next question, which already you've dealt with, about what are some of the leadership skills that you think you have that have helped you to grow with your team? Because I know right now you have now several members, because they will come with growth. So what are those skills that you think you have?
So, I think I'm blessed with so many.
Yeah, because
But the ones I
sorry
tend to use,
to interrupt, because the reason I'm saying that, there's someone watching and maybe they are a leader somewhere, they
Yeah,
have they do even, they have, there are so many businesses,
they're leading.
or even a company, or just anything, and then you feel it's like the team members are not maybe respecting you, and maybe you don't know whether it's because of how you are interacting with them. Yeah, maybe you can give them a tip.
So when you're dealing with a team, first and foremost is communication. I think communication cuts across everything. Literally, how you talk to people, how you respond to their questions, how you give them feedbacks. Communication is very important.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is patience. When you're dealing with people, when you're working with a team and it is your company you're trying to grow, it's like working on a baby, because I consider my company a baby, literally. So if you're growing a baby, then the factors surrounding that growth, you have to be patient with them. So you have to be patient with your team members. You have to also be in a position to learn from them, because at the end of the day, from what I do is art. Event deco is art. I have one of my team members who is very artistic, and they didn't know until they came into my team.
Wow, yeah.
Whatever he was doing in life was totally different. But I can tell you for a fact, there are sometimes I have to sit down for him to teach me. He'll tell me, it's okay what you've done here, but how about, what if I do this? And then his way of doing it,
so you
is
give
way
them
better.
an opportunity to grow.
Yes,
wow,
I give them
that's
opportunities to grow and to actually be in a position to learn from them as they learn from me. And I also remind my team members that because my business, I don't like calling it small, because I know it's going places, but it's still in the teenager stages. So I give my team members opportunities. I teach them that there is more to life other than what we are doing here. There is more to like, if you have a family, I make sure I try share what I know about family. So I'm not all about business and whatever we are doing at the moment. I will ask you how your kids are doing. Have you thought about this and this for your kids? Is your wife doing okay? I'll even encourage my team members to buy flowers for their wives from me.
That's good.
So
it's not
being
just
approachable. As a leader, you need to be approachable. It is not good uko na watu and they say, madam, ami siwezi mpeleka hiyo issue. So I like being approachable. And I think I pray a lot for my team members. I believe I'm a believer. So even before onboarding someone in my team, I have to actually pray about it. I have to ask God, is this someone who I'm going to grow with? Ama they'll come in and we will stagnate somewhere. So being prayerful, being a believer is also, it is an aspect I would consider as a good character if you're being a leader. You have to be a believer, and not just a believer, a prayerful person. And for a woman, you have to be a prayerful woman.
It's true.
You have to be. The same way you pray for your family is the same way you're supposed to pray for your business and for your team. So I believe some of those characters have helped me be a good leader in my team.
Wow. And that's so good, because here we also encourage people to pray. We are believers, and that's a very strong point, that when you are in business, you must pray. You must give God the first priority in that, because He's the one who gives you the discernment, He's the one who gives you the ideas, He's the one who will keep on, of course, encouraging you and pushing you to grow every time. It's not because sometimes you can see it's by our hard work, but it's not only that. Wow, that is so good, and I hope my viewers, you're still learning, because I'm getting a few points. When you hear about a challenge, make sure that you already have it. Like you will not allow it to be a challenge to you, because when let's say we are working somewhere and then there is a pit. When I fall in, you already know there's a pit, and that is what we are trying to help you ladies. Today is ladies talk. And we encourage you, go and start that business, start that idea that you have. Maybe it's something that you are passionate about. You can go and start it. It is possible. As you've had our client here, not client, our guest, sorry.
Okay.
You know, I'm
still a client.
Yeah. I'm also into business, guys,
into
and
business.
I call them clients.
So I'm also a client.
Yes. And so our guest has told us that you can start from anywhere. You can start with zero. Like, it is all about start with that passion, that small, when it comes as an idea, just go and start it, And I'm so much happy. What are some of the things now that you've learned from that being in business? What are some of the lessons that you've learned? They can be negative, they can be positive. Yes.
So some of the things I've learned doing whatever I've been doing for the last few years, not many, 3 years only. So I cannot say I have learned so much. So I'm still in the process of learning and all that.
Yeah.
But the mindset that I started with is not the same that I have to. Because with business, you have to have a growth kind of mentality.
Yes.
If you have a fixated mentality, fixated I mean by uko tu umeanza biashara and you are comfortable where you are. It is okay, it is giving you some good money, but then you make it your comfort zone. So I have learned to have a growth mentality instead of having a fixated mentality, which works for people. I don't know how it does, but I know it works for some people. But I would tell someone a growth mentality is better. A mentality where you wake up and you're thinking about how do I better myself tomorrow? How do I make my yesterday's flower, bouquet of flowers, better than how do I make my tomorrow's bouquet better than the one I did yesterday? Even though the one I did yesterday was very good,
yes.
The client appreciated. The client even tipped me because the bouquet was very nice.
Yes.
But how do I grow it into a better bouquet? If it is an event, how do I satisfy my client in a better way the next time? How do I come up with a better idea than the one I had?
Okay, let me pause you on that. Like, now you're talking about growth mindset in the deco sector.
Yeah.
What is this growth? Like, I know it's all about the ideas and the creativity. Maybe you can share with them. Maybe there's someone that is also in the deco. Maybe you can share with them what is that growth that you're talking about.
So specifically in our industry, our industry is very artistic, especially when it comes to events, because the kind of in Ukambani we call it Nzoki, or what famously known as Rora Show. Yeah. The kind of Rora Show Joy wants is not the kind of Rora Show another client wants.
It's true.
So you have to be a researcher.
Yes.
Not a bookwormer, but a researcher of what is trending. Which this kind of culture, what they are into. Yes. What they don't like. So because most of the time you get clients who don't even know what they want. They know I want a setup. Yes. But they don't know exactly what they want. So I don't like telling a client. Of course, I'll give them an inspiration, probably a video, a photo of an event I've done before. Yes. But I don't like duplicating events unless it is very, very necessary that the client has insisted. I want exactly that, but I don't like duplicating events. There's always growth in twisting what you did in your previous event. You make something better out of in the next one. So for someone who is doing events, you have to be online because that is what we have. Yeah, so there's social media. Social media is the biggest resource we have as event planners. So you have to be out there researching and learning because the number of workshops I have attended online, they are there. Whereby people are teaching each other about what is trending, this kind of flower.
So do you have to pay for you to?
Yeah, there are workshops that you have to pay for online. There are others that are master classes that you attend physically, probably in Nairobi or Kisumu or Mombasa. So you have to be,
because I'm thinking of maybe there's a person who is maybe wants to start and they don't want to start while they are green, so maybe they are looking for a place to attend, although they have not paid us, but you can.
So I cannot mention them by name. But if someone gets in touch with me, I always share. I can share links of where a workshop is happening or when, or if it's a physical class, I can direct you to one. I'm also thinking on starting kind of mentoring people who are interested in decor, because I've been getting so many requests. So I'm thinking, around locally, yeah. So I'm thinking of onboarding it as a thing in my company to teach people what I know, so that they can also grow. I grow, it's also good when you're growing in the same team, people are growing. Yeah, it's important. Yeah.
Wow. What else? What else have you learned in these?
So apart from having a mentality of growth and all that, I've also learned that people can be. This one is a negative one.
Okay, it's okay. Today we allow everything.
This one is a negative one. That people can be cunning out here. Clients, other colleagues. So you have to know how to stand up for yourself, especially being a woman. The fact that I mentioned that clients can be underestimating you because of how you look, how short you are, the fact that you are a woman. So people can be manipulative. It's true in this industry specifically, because and some of the people who are actually manipulative are people that are around you, even family members, because you'll find your auntie wants you to do an event for them for free.
That is a question I was thinking about.
For free,
yes. So there was a clip I sent you while we were discussing, and then they were saying about it's better to do an event for a stranger.
Yes, true. From experience, it's true, because the kind of respect you get from strangers, because they understand value. It is very different from family members. Sorry to say, because someone who is close to you thinks because you have the skill and you are approachable and available for them,
and we are related,
then they have to get it for free. So people can be very manipulative. So when you're in business, you need to discern and to know that you are actually in business. If you want to grow, you have to know that you're in business.
Like, it's not about showing mercy.
No,
because you have people to pay. You have.
And funny thing, when it comes to events, most of the time, as an event, as a founder of a company, I mentioned one of the challenges is what I don't remember what I said, but I'm trying to bring up a point where you've gone for an event or you have zero cash in the bank. Not because you didn't work, you went to work. But you paid your team. You probably bought a few items for the company.
Yes.
You've paid probably your taxes. You paid your team. You've paid all your suppliers. But you have nothing to pay yourself. So what I've learned is you have to be okay with the fact that you are a CEO by name.
Yes.
But before it gets to that point in business that you can actually pay yourself, it is going to take a long journey.
Okay.
So you have to be comfortable with the fact that utalipa mtu, utakuwa na team members kama 10.
Na anaweza kuwa na complain umemlipa kidogo.
Yes. And you paid each one of them equally, kabisa, but you have nothing for yourself. And that is okay in business. Yeah, so people who want to join, they should know that it is actually a part in business.
Very true.
You will pay everyone in your team, you'll pay your suppliers, utalipa everything. but you have nothing for yourself, and that is very normal in business. So I didn't know that. I had to learn that.
So you knew, hey, lazima nijilipe.
Hapa nenda na zangu 20 kwa nyumba.
But then you are thinking about like, investing, you know, you keep on investing in back.
So at some point, I console myself with my few assets. Yes. I tell myself, even if I don't have money after this event, at least I have this and this. I have napkins, I have charger plates. Yeah. So that's my investment. So you have to be aware of the fact that investing is more important.
That's another point.
That's a very strong some money in your pockets after an event or after a sale or so investing, because the investment is what is going to give you back another business. So you have to use money to get money and use that money again. So it's a circle. So business is a circle. Entrepreneurship is a circle. So yeah, those are some of the things.
And because I also think of when we see you are successful in business, it's not about the money you have in bank.
Exactly.
It's about the assets. Yes.
The assets and a comfortable team. Because if you go with a team to work and at the end of the day they are complaining not paying
very true, yeah.
Of course that will tarnish your company. So yeah, the growth of the bigness of a company is not how much you have in your pockets.
It's true.
It is all about what impact, because when you're paying someone in your team, there's a family somewhere which is appreciating that.
Wow.
So that impact you're giving back to a team member, or the few items you've gotten for your company, it is growth.
Yes.
Yeah, it shows that that company is growing.
So no matter how small it is, whatever you get, usikule yote.
Do you know how much? The first time I got my charger plates, I think they were 5. I don't think I slept. I kept on looking at them.
You are wondering, are they mine?
Are these actually mine?
You'll not hire.
Yeah.
You'll not. Hey.
I didn't hire. I didn't copper. I actually sent out for charger plates and napkins, and they are mine. So it is so satisfying to have an item that belongs to you when you're in business, and especially in whatever I'm doing. The smallest thing can be very exciting. I can tell you the number of times I've gotten emotional just like walking in my store and saying, that is mine, that is mine.
Wow.
And I didn't get it in a day or two. It has taken a process.
Yes.
And I still don't have so much. The goals that I have, some of them are very scary. They are so big. So I look at it and I'm like, one day I'm going to have a warehouse. And I believe
it is true,
and I speak that
possible.
Into existence.
Yes.
It is. If you're a believer,
you're going to watch this video how many years to come? Not even.
I know, and I say even one day I'm going to have a warehouse.
5 years to come.
Yes, amen. And I will have triple those plates, triple those napkins, triple those backdrops.
Wow.
So yeah,
you have to dream big.
You have to and act on the dream, because in entrepreneurship there are people who are called dreamers. Dreamers are just entrepreneurs who just dream and they just talk and don't do anything. So you have to act on your dreams.
Where do you see yourself in future? Future can be
days from today.
And what can you tell your future self?
I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. So I don't know. I have funny thing. I was telling my hubby the other day. Do you know I'm going to drive?
Hey, shout out to him first.
I'm going to be driving an FH very soon. Me driving it. Yes. See, ati mtu aniendeshe.
Wow.
Because when I look at where I want to go, or where I feel like I'm headed to, I see myself as still short, of course. Nilishakubali ufupi. But I see myself in a place where I've grown, of course, but I've also impacted so many people.
Yeah.
Positively. I see a huge company which has not just grown, but it has also created business employment opportunities for younger people who are younger than me and they're coming up. I see a company that people will look at and they'll say, she inspired me to start by then whatever it is that person will be starting. So a fever or a fear is the one that inspired me. So because there are people who I look at today and I'm like, you see that one? That is where I'm headed. So I want someone to sit down one day and look at me and say, that is where I'm headed. Then I think I'll be satisfied. Yeah.
Wow.
To impact. Simple.
Do you have mentors that you look up to? And what role are they playing?
Here on earth, I have
God is the first, of course.
I have mentors and I have people who encourage me. Those are two different people. I look up to my mother when it comes to general business. My mom is a businesswoman. I don't think you know my mom.
I have not interacted with her, but
should.
I should.
You should.
Nitamtafuta. Namleta hapa kwa show.
She's very shy. So my mom is one of those resilient women. And someone mwenye ujituma, because I look at her and I remember sometime back when I didn't have knowledge of what business is, I would look at her, even I think last year but one or two, and I'm like, why are you struggling so much? Like you have made it. Nini unaamka saa 2 unaosha ninio ofisi? Why? And then for her, it's not about how much she has. I don't know what it is, but she just encourages me because she's a very good businesswoman. She's very hardworking. For someone her age, she's very hardworking. For someone who has lost her husband recently, she did not give up. When she had so many reasons to, she didn't. She picked up and as hard as it was. So she encourages me, she mentors me. She actually encourages me in business. Ni vile ni Mwafrika hizi niambia, I like what you're doing. I can overhear sometimes akinisifia to her friends on phone. So she really encourages me. But in our industry, I have companies, because most of the things that we deal with are company owned. So I have companies that I look up to. I have individuals who are not in this business, but are in other businesses, in other areas that I look up to. I won't name them by names, but they are there. They are there. And it's my hope that one day someone will also look up to me as a mentor and as someone who they look at and they encourage.
Wow, that's powerful. And you are a mom. How do you balance your family, motherhood, getting into this business also? Because your work involves a lot of traveling and all that.
Yeah, it does.
So how do you balance?
It's not easy. I'm a mom. My son is turning 8.
Wow,
in 1 month. He's turning 8. I would say when I started the business, I was not married. So
Maybe
it was not very hard.
You've not told us about that challenge. You are there. Hey, you are in business. You're single. Hey.
You are young.
Were they running after you?
Oh, they were. They were.
Because we have the men who are always opportunistic.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
How was it?
It's not something I would wish on any girl because it is a moment you are self-discovering. It was easy for me when I was doing business. when I was alone, I thought it was easy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that time I thought it was easy. But when it came to relationships, I was never sure. I was never sure if does he actually like me for me, or is this person interested in me because they can see that najituma, or are they here to stay?
Yeah.
So it was kind of challenging, but considering the fact that as I was growing my business, as it was coming up, I also got to know God.
Yes.
So the fact that I knew God, I can't say I gave God an ultimatum, but I only requested for one thing from God, a good support system.
Yes.
Someone who would be understanding and someone who would actually see me for me. Not seeing me for the business that I'm growing.
Yes.
Not someone who wants to be associated with me because I have a growing business which is visible.
Yes.
At his right time he did.
Yes. Yeah.
Very unexpected, very unforeseen. Someone I didn't even see coming. So and having a great support system in any kind of business, I would like to believe in any kind of business, it is important. I'm sure for you can also attest.
It's true.
Because having someone who will not understand why I have to leave on Friday and spend the whole night at a site, be there the whole of Saturday, and come back Saturday in the evening, very tired,
very late also.
Very late, and if you have a person who will not understand that, generally, even for people who are not married, probably you have your parents and all that, and they don't get why you have to be out at night.
It's true.
And you're a woman. They'll be like, why can't you look for another job? If it's a man, they'll be like, why can't I set up probably shop uuze nguo where you'll go 8 at 4 umerudi kwa nyumba and cook. So having a support system, and not just a support system, a support system that is very kind and that is, they are also very loving, and they're also interested in what you do. You know, you can also have a support system and they don't even, they're not bothered with what you do. They are there, they're supporting, but whatever you do, they're not interested in. So having that kind of a person, now that I have that kind of a person, it's overwhelmingly beautiful. Because when I was single, I thought I'm good because I'm working on my own terms. But now that I have someone who literally, because there are those times you are down there, you're like, you know what, but you have someone who is literally pushing you, like you've got
telling
this,
you,
I believe in you.
you.
I can see your visions. I'm here to support you physically, financially, mentally, and they are there to pick you up, because there are times an event will show you shege.
Yes.
There are times a client will literally mess you up, and if you don't have a support system that is good, you will find yourself going down the drain.
It's true.
So I thank God for a family that is very encouraging, for a family that is very involved in what I do, in a very loving kind of way.
Wow. You are never afraid of people saying that maybe utamkalia now that you found that you are doing the business already? You are equal.
Of course, I remember a time a guy was hitting on me 2 years ago, and they were like, I don't think. I mean, really okay with your alpha feminism and all that. I don't think any guy will really want to settle with you, because kujituma umejituma, mwanaume pia atashindwa aanze wapi. But then I took that like it hit me, but then I didn't change my character. I told myself, you know what, if God called for me, and he knew the plans he had for me, like he knew me from when I was in my mother's womb. He knew I was going to be this kind of bossy and
Yes.
woman and a leader, then he'll bring me a man who is going to adapt with
the same level.
Yes.
Someone who knows your value.
Who is going to see my value. And who is also, let me tell you, I'm only alpha out here. When I'm in the house, I'm a very submissive woman.
Yeah.
I'm a very kuitika na upole. Because he understands that
it's
I'm
because
in business.
Yes, and he has given you that opportunity to grow.
Yes. So for him it's not hard. I don't think unless aseme namkalia. Sijua mali namkalia.
Tumwita
maybe anakaliwa na hatujui. But people who are scared of that
because
then they were not
I've realized there are so many men who fear women who have already become successful or who are on that journey of being successful. I don't know why they are afraid.
Of course, if you're scared of a woman who has made their success or who has started, because I don't think I have made it. I am very far from it. So I'm still on my journey. So if you're a man and you're scared of such a woman, then just continue being scared. That woman is not for you. Move to the next one, because that one is not for you. Because when you align with someone who has some of my characters and the alignment is smooth, it is not forced. He does not see me for of course he knows I'm a leader. He knows I have a company and all that. So that is not what he sees in me.
He sees the you now.
He sees me. He does not see what I do. And what I do actually, I don't know, it gives him some kind of pride.
Yes, but that is how they are supposed to be.
It gives him some pride. He's so proud of the fact that I am an alpha and the fact that I take care of business. It gives him so much pride. That one I know for sure, because he has.
And that is how men are supposed to be. They should support their women. When you see your woman growing, it should not be like
there's a competition or something.
Wow. That's
so if if you're scared of a woman because they're making it in life or they're doing things that you feel like are manly, then you just move. Look for that baby girl there. Oh,
wow. We were on the question of how do you balance motherhood and...
It's not tough. You just have to, of course there has to be balance, because I have to be there for my family. I also have to be there for business. So when it comes to my business, and I've had an issue with this a lot, like any other business, you open 8 to 5. So it is weird when I give my boundaries to clients and they don't get it. I've had a fight, I think 3 months ago with a client because they were calling me at 9. It's okay, we have an event that we are planning, but my working hours are between 8 and 5. Past that, I don't pick business.
Time.
It is family time. I also don't do deliveries for flowers past 6. I don't, because my son needs me.
True.
The same way you accord respect and time for your own family, the same way you do to mine, the same way I do to mine. So having boundaries, in as much as tunataka pesa and all that, unless it is very necessary, I put boundaries to when and where I talk to my clients. Balancing, it can be difficult for a start, but ukishashika, it is smooth. And if you have understanding clients and use that concept of you open your business at 8, it's okay, it's my business. I'm self-employed, but the same way you'll accord Naivas 8 to 5 timelines, kindly do the same for me.
It's true.
Okay, if I never imagine everything will go smoothly. People think it's pride, but it's not.
It's not, you know. Family time is family time. It's true. Wow. And right now we are almost concluding our show. What other thing do you feel that you can share with my people?
What now? So if you're looking to start up a business, research about it. Do your research. It's okay to jump into a business, but jump once you've researched.
Make sure you have an idea.
Yeah, make sure you have an idea of the industry or the marketplace around what you want to do. Pray about it. If you're a believer, pray about anything or any plan you're planning to do, any kind of business you're trying to set up. Pray about it. Ask God for discernment. Ask God if it's actually what He wants you to do. Because you can start up a business. We've seen businesses going down. You start a business and in 90 days you've closed up. So pray about a business. And know your area of speciality. Si kila biashara ni ya kila mtu. Me, I'm sure I cannot do photography. Me, I'm sure. I am sure.
Yeah.
It's in my industry because industry yetu iko na vitu mingi. I am sure I cannot be a good MC even though I talk. But I cannot talk at an event. I can't. I am sure I can't do catering. I'm a very good cook. I cook very nice food in the house. But I'm sure I cannot cook for an event. So have a know-how of your specialty and knowledge, have knowledge on your specialties so that when you're going in, hata kama kuna kitu itakudisappoint pale mbele, si kitu yenye ulisha research on. So research is very important. Financial knowledge is very important. If you're starting up, if you're in our industry, for example, you're doing photography, know how to price your things. Si kwambia watu picha moja ni 50 bob. At the end of the day, you will have nothing to show for your business. I have issues with people who don't understand the importance of quotations and contracts kwa biashara. Because someone wants to call you, Afia, how much is a wedding for 300 people? I don't know. I don't know in my mind. So I have to tell you, we have to discuss that wedding first. What do you see in your wedding? How do you see it?
And there are some people who think like it's not supposed to be like that. No, I don't know why.
It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like that because doing a quotation is not just important for me. It's also important for you. Because imagine me telling you, wedding ni 60K, what is in the 60,000? When I come to your event and I've done an event for 60,000, you are like, is that all she could do? But initially you refused to have a quotation. So people who have worked with me, they know, even for a birthday, me, I will tell you, sit down, I do a quotation for you. And I will go on my laptop and I will do a detailed quotation on every item. Because at the end of the day, I want to be accountable, and you also need a document that you can hold me accountable. So that is also a contract comes in.
Which is very important.
Contracts are very important in events because I've seen, not from my personal experience, but I've seen a client, an event person being sued by a client because they took photos of the event and posted on their pages. So like I set up your event, I take photos and then I post on my page. But that was in the contract, only that the client refused to read the contract. Because kuna watu wataki event zao zikionanishwa. Na hiyo si makosa yangu. Na haukuniambia.
It's true.
But where you have a contract drawn, the client is aware, these are the terms, these are the conditions. A contract is also good because you will get to state your pricing and payment plans. Because there's a huge mistake people do, especially with our services. For catering, I can guzia kidogo on catering because I know, and for event decor, and for MC and DJ. I have seen people being messed up by clients. You go do a setup. I have a personal experience of decor. I went, I did decor, and my client disappeared. I didn't know her. She was from Nairobi. And they have not settled completely. They don't live around, they live in the city. So they just found me online, they paid me half the money. For me to get the other half the money, that was last year in Kianza. I had to involve askaris. It was very costly. At the end of the day, she paid me, but the damage was already done. So you need to know the importance of
one-on-one or
deadlines. If for example, my quotations or my terms say you have to pay, you have to book a date. So if you have an event in March next year, 2025, for me to actually know you have an event and you are looking to work with me, you need to hold the date and not by word of mouth, because that is not business.
It's true.
It's not. As long as you have already decided, I want to work with her on this date and this date, then lock the date. Because otherwise I'll give out that date, it will be a free slot. So having a confirmation of this amount in the account and the client has locked the date makes me confident enough that I'm actually working with you.
Yes.
And towards the event, clear up your balances. The people who have a notion of
that is before the D-Day.
For me, you have to pay before items leave the store into a town or wherever. Clear up with your client. Because the minute those items get to their ground, that person has the upper hand.
Yes.
They do. So contracts will have some of these things detailed, or the percentages and all that. So if you're starting any kind of business, there doesn't have to be events and all that. No, if a business entails you drawing contracts, please do it.
Yes.
It is hectic.
It formalizes everything.
But it is important. Kuandika quotation by this rahisi. Ni kazi. I'm even thinking of charging them. Because utaandikia client quotation A akatae, quotation B asemetoa hii, quotation C asemeturudi quotation A. So it is hectic, but it is very important and crucial.
Wow. Yes, guys, and I'm so much happy. I've learned. I hope you've really learned a lot. Thank you so much for coming, Afia. We really appreciate to learn a lot. And can you comment on the comment section what you've really learned? What are you learning about this event planning, event deco, and everything? And you can also share your ideas of what you've learned if you are in that department. Okay. You've already told us where we can find you. You said it's
on TikTok, Afivan Events. Facebook, Afivan Events. Instagram, Afivan Events. 0713-736-863. That is my business phone number. For those who want to buy flowers, I am a supplier of flowers, surprises for your partners, for birthdays, any kind of an event. I'm also doing baby showers, birthdays, event deco. Specifically, weddings can be a church wedding, garden wedding, Rora shows, whichever kind of culture. I think so far I've interacted with every culture. Thank God. I think the only culture so far sijapata nayo ni Kalenjins.
They are coming. Hurry up, guys.
But I've interacted with most of the Western region. I've done Coastal region. I've done Central region and Eastern region. So uko kwa Wakalendo bado. So that is how you reach me for all your event needs.
Wow. So guys, if you have an event, you can contact her. And by the way, I've said that we are doing a series on women in business. If you have a woman in mind that you want us to bring, they can be anywhere. I can bring them. So you can also comment on the comment section the person that you want to see on the show. And so thank you so much, guys, for watching. Keep on liking our content. Keep on subscribing and also comment. By the way, I need your comments, guys. May the Lord bless you.